This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Welcome to the show. Today's conversation is about service and learning and making a real difference in the lives of others. We're joined by Dr. Jason McGregor and Samantha Chelf, who is a grad student in the Foster School of Business. Is that what we call it? Hank
Yes.
School of Business? Anyway, in the accounting department, because what we're talking about is a wonderful project to help people get their taxes done. So tell me a little bit about this program that is going on really now. You're helping people now through tax day, I guess.
So through April 9th.
Okay.
So
Close
it's called,
to tax day.
Close to the very end.
Yeah.
It's called the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. So it's a partnership between high schools, Baylor, and the IRS. And there's programs like this all across the country where low-income taxpayers can come and get their taxes fully prepared at no cost. And so
That's huge.
it is.
Yeah.
Even in the city of Waco, the average family will spend $200 to $400 to get their taxes prepared. Mm-hmm. So to put that in perspective, if your income is $2,000 or $10,000 a year, spending $400 on your taxes is a huge expense in your budget.
Right. Absolutely. So tell me a little bit, Dr. McGregor, about your role at Baylor and how long you've been doing this kind of thing.
So I've been at Baylor for 18 years now, and I'm an accounting professor, and I teach normally an auditing class. So I work with the senior students to figure out how you know whether a business person's been telling the truth. And we had another faculty member retire last year, and his gift to me when he left was the VITA program, because it's one we really like as a department. All the faculty really like that we get to go into the community. We get to have an impact. The Baylor Christian Mission, at least in our department, really does mean we make the city of Waco better. And so I'd always had a real passion for that on a global scale, but never found a way to translate that at the local level. So I have never taken a U.S. tax course. I'm not a tax guru, but I have a heart for serving. And so I just started recruiting people. One of the first people I recruited was Samantha and said, I've got a program, I need you. And so we started growing the program. But Baylor's been doing it off and on for 15 years.
Oh.
And AJ Moore, and I'm dating myself here, had the program for 30 years.
I knew that, yes.
And then the school
WISD
closed down.
was doing that, yeah.
And so they've been moving in. So where it's now based out of University High.
Okay,
and so
Good. So WISD is still involved with high school students. Let's talk to you, Samantha, now. So obviously you were asked to be a part of this. What kind of led you to Baylor, number one, and to accounting?
Well, originally I wanted to do sports in college. I do equestrian, so I was looking at all the schools that had equestrian teams, and then I realized that I wanted to kind of focus on things outside of my sport for once, because it was my whole life, like elementary school all the way through high school, and it still is. I still do it, but
you have a horse here?
I do.
Okay, good.
I keep her out in China Springs. But I wanted to be able to do stuff outside of my sport and really figure out what I wanted to do, like with my career, and get more involved in school. So I got involved in like Delta Sigma Pi, which is a business fraternity, the accounting society at one point, and then VITA. And I really wanted to do accounting because everyone says that you can do whatever you want with it. With finance, you can kind of do whatever you want, but you can't do accounting. So there's still kind of that barrier. And I didn't want to have a barrier with what I want to do. I want to be able to go as far as I want to go in my career and be able to kind of take it wherever I want to.
Yeah. Is there something about, though, the way you think that makes accounting easier for you? Because accounting was not my thing. I just have to say.
I like patterns.
Okay.
Yeah. I like kind of like
that's interesting.
Looking for patterns, almost like a puzzle. And that's kind of how I remember things. Like when I study for a test, when I was studying for like the CPA, I always look for patterns. And if I used AI to help me study, I'd be like, give me a pattern that shows up here to use it as kind of like a trick or a tip. So then you just kind of think of that, like this increases by 15 each year or something like that. So I really like thinking in that kind of way.
Well, and there are a lot of rules and a lot of regulations, and that's the tax code and all that kind of thing. So you have actually done this program before, worked with individuals in the community.
Yes.
How many years have you?
I've done it twice before already.
Okay.
So as an undergrad in your tax class, you have the opportunity to sign up. So you have a tax project, but you can do it in place of your tax project.
Oh, yeah.
And then in grad school, you have the opportunity to do it also, but at like a different level. So as an undergrad, you're always, you just prepare the tax return. But then as a grad student, you can prepare the tax return and you can sign off because you have to have an extra person like check off on it, make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
So as
Another
a
set of
grad
eyeballs
student,
looking at it, for sure.
Yeah. So
For
as
sure.
a grad student, you get to do that, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And it's kind of different when you've done it as an undergrad and a grad student because when you come back as a grad student, you remember like how difficult it was for you as an undergrad. You are like, I don't know anything. I'm scared I'm going to mess up.
Right.
So coming back as a grad student, you kind of empathize with the undergrads that are there and you're like, don't worry. I did this too. I survived it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Yeah.
So who is the person in the community that this is for? I mean, I'm sure you have criteria.
On the most basic level, it's a person who's a low income. The IRS gives a guideline of approximately $67,000,
Okay.
but we're not looking for reasons to exclude people. And so now the question of who comes for the tax assistance, we've had 18-year-olds who, with their very first return from MCC, they're a nursing student. They don't know whether they owe taxes or not. We had people in their 90s who every year they get their taxes done and they just need help. There's the single mother with 3 children. There's a person last week who was trying to buy an $80,000 truck and all through loans, and it was okay. Are you a low income taxpayer?
Yeah. About how many people are served here in Waco? I know this is all over the U.S. They do these, but
In Waco, we'll probably serve close to 3,000.
3,000.
Yes, households.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. So why is this so important for families, that need this service? What do you think, Samantha?
I mean, I personally think that it's really important because, as Jason said, not everyone can afford to pay for someone to do their taxes because it is expensive. But also, tax isn't a general knowledge for most people. So you don't necessarily know what credits you might qualify for and what you need to look out for. So you might not be maximizing the amount of money that you could get back, and you're going to lose out on that. And I think it's important to put money back in the hands of the taxpayers to give them a chance to improve their year because, some people get returns of $12,000 and it changes the way that they can see the entire year going for them.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's like completely life-changing for them. And so I think that that's important because maybe if they did their return on their own, they wouldn't have gotten that.
Oh, wow. Have you seen those kind of results?
Every night.
Yeah, really.
And there's people who haven't filed their tax returns for 2 or 3 years out of guilt and shame and
Fear.
out of fear,
Yeah,
but they're
really.
actually getting that $10,000 return each
wow.
year.
Yeah.
So could you imagine you've been living not enough to pay your rent, struggling to pay the utilities,
Yeah.
and you have a return of $10,000, you just have to ask for it.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so those are the stories that just
That's
overwhelm
incredible.
you.
Yeah. So what kinds of financial stress do you see people under when they come to,
The
to
widows,
use this program?
the widows are the hardest ones. So
Really?
someone who lost a spouse this year
Oh.
and their income's completely unknown. They've never prepared their taxes before. They don't know what to expect. We see a lot of veterans coming back, trying to figure out what life is like now with the different reality. So those are the stories. There are people who their tax return is how they're planning to get through the next 6 months. There was over the years, there's a lot of programs that come and go. Mortgage interest rate is a big one. If someone's mortgage goes up, for a lot of us, if our mortgage went up by $100, it wouldn't be a life-changing difference for us. But if you're only making $15,000, $16,000, or you're on Social Security, and your property taxes went up and your mortgage went up, you're struggling to pay for your medicine. And so this could be the way where we help connect you.
Yeah. Have you seen this program remove barriers for people?
I mean, every time someone gets this, and usually the first question after we prepare the return is how many days they need the money. It's not people looking for a handout by any means. It's people that want to make the life better for themselves and their families, and so we love serving alongside of them.
Well, I want to talk more with you about, where you do this and, a little bit more of the mechanics. We need to take a break. But when we come back, we will learn more about the VITA program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Great products start with quality materials and trusted service. And no one's more committed than Universal Windows Direct of Central Texas. With windows built to last, backed by the best lifetime warranty. 0% financing is available with your good credit. Call Universal Windows Direct of Central Texas today for the last windows you'll ever need.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Serving Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, your bank for life.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
And we're back with Dr. Jason McGregor, professor of accounting at Baylor University, and grad student Samantha Chelf, this is your third year now to be involved with this volunteer income tax program that helps folks who just don't have the funds to pay for having their taxes prepared. So I presume you've seen some people that just haven't done it for whatever reason and maybe get a little bit worried about the tax man coming, or
they do. I mean, as the saying goes, there's only two things that are certain in life: death and taxes.
That's right.
And there's a lot of people who are more afraid of taxes than death.
Than the death, yeah.
And so, and even when you just go to like Walmart and you see the kiosk set up, it feels like there's going to be this right answer, and there's going to be a lot of judgment coming. And so just getting people to sit down and have a conversation is usually the hardest part for a lot of people.
So you talked about kind of from undergrad student to, and there are high school students that
Yes.
are helping folks prepare their taxes. And I've heard all kinds of great stories about students on the high school level who've gone on and decided to make this a career as well. What kind of training do you get to sit down with a client?
So depending on if you're like undergrad and a high school student or a grad student, and so between a preparer and a reviewer, there's 2 different levels that you have to pass. So you basically get a certification from the IRS, and you essentially just kind of learn how to fill out a tax return. And the difficulties of each one are a little different based on what you're going to be doing, because sometimes if you are a reviewer, if someone with a more difficult tax return comes in, you're going to be the one in charge of filling that one out. And then a professor like Jason will be your reviewer. So that's kind of the only requirement really to be able to do this and help people.
Yeah. Have you found some boo-boos?
Not boo-boos. But there's times where we think of the tax code and accounting as this black and white world.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of messiness in how things are and people's intention.
Yeah.
You got to ask follow-up questions. A lot of, for example, if you run a small business, what's a business expense, what's not? And the person who does the DoorDash, if you've ever used DoorDash or Uber Eats, that's a business.
Yeah.
So they have to keep track of their expenses. And sometimes we have to ask a lot of questions. And how do you get to the correct answer? It can be the difference of $1,000 to a person who only made $1,000 profit in their business. And so, not boo-boos, but just...
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's just a lot of details. So what was it like helping your first taxpayer? You think back a couple of years?
Well,
Were you nervous?
I definitely was. I was like, people are actually relying on me to do their tax return. And I think that that's a really eye-opening thing, because having someone rely on you and, you know, being that dependent on you is something that you only really see happen to like your parents. That's something in the grown-up world. Everyone sees us as college students still, so they don't really expect as much from us. But these people don't see you as just a college student. They see you as someone that they can rely on. They are sharing really like sensitive, tough things with you, and you're almost like their last hope in a sense. And so I think coming to that realization when I first started, I was like, wow, I'm actually able to help people with my accounting, because I know a lot of people struggle when they go into accounting that they don't really have a purpose. Like they kind of get drowned out, especially when you go into a big firm and they don't really know how they can use accounting to help others. I know during my internship, one of the managers that was training us, he was previously in the military. And so when he came back and went into a big accounting firm, he struggled with that. Like, you know, your whole purpose is serving others. That's your life. That's your mission. And then you go from just being a corporate worker. And so I know that he struggled with finding a purpose in what he was doing. And so I think that this is a great way to still be able to serve others while using your new skills.
Got to be gratifying to realize you're helping people in that way. So the skills you've gained from this program, what would you say they are?
Well, when I was in my tax class and I did this as an undergrad, I thought it was so much fun. Things that I was doing at VITA, I would come to class and we would be going over it and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I just did a tax return for someone that involved that. And so that was really fun because kind of reinforced everything that you're doing, and you realized I'm really learning real things. Because when you sit in a classroom, you don't always know, am I going to use this? Like, you know, when is this applied? But it's really nice to be able to learn something in the classroom or learn something at VITA and be able to kind of interchange the two. And then on top of that, I think it's really good for students in general, because you might be really good at taking tests. You might be really book smart, but do you need to work on your soft skills? Do you need to work on your social skills? Or you might be better at working out in the real world. That's how I am. I like learning on the job kind of. And so is that how you learn best? So I think VITA is really good for people who like to learn on the job and be hands-on, and that's how they remember things best. And it's also good for people who don't learn that way, because chances are maybe you need to work on your social skills. And it teaches you a lot of empathy and communicating with people that you just don't know. And also, to get the information that you want, you have to learn to kind of not interrogate, but just kind of squeeze the information that you need out of them, but in a gentle way.
Keep asking the right questions.
Yeah. So you just kind of have to learn to guide the conversation where you want it to go. And I think that those are really important things, especially as accountants, because you don't always think, oh, I'm just going to be plugging in numbers all day. But eventually you're going to have to be involved with the client. And even in audit, you have to get the information that you need from your client. And so that's important, just as important as knowing how to do the numbers.
How many students are in all are working this program?
150 between the undergraduate and graduate program.
Well, I guess to do 3,000 tax returns, that's a massive coordination.
It takes a team effort.
That you're doing in your spare time, right?
No, that Baylor supports this.
Okay, this is a big part of it. So what is cool, so do you also oversee the high school students?
No, so right now we at the high schools we'll have a high school teacher who will oversee them, make sure they're certified and trained. With our Baylor students, we very much throw them in the deep end with the IRS training. We provide them some guidelines, connections to the resources, and support them. The high school, it'll be integrated into one of their classes where they'll do the certification in class. My students don't get that support.
This program, though, as you say, is just so vital, really, to the stewardship of Baylor resources and service.
I mean, when we think about Waco, sometimes people will ask me, what difference does it make? This year will probably be between $1.5 to $3 million will be brought back into the Waco economy. And there's a particular tax credit called the Earned Income Tax Credit. And so the math, all the software does the calculations, but Wacoans give up about $5 million. They just don't file requesting this tax credit. So think about all the people in need in our community. There's $5 million in federal money that's waiting for them if they'll just ask for it. And so that's when people ask, why do we do this? Why are we here today? Because if someone's watching this and they're like, I don't know if it makes a difference, I'm probably not going to get anything. It does. $5 million is waiting for our community.
Wow, that's incredible. Do you have a memorable moment, maybe with a particular client?
I remember one time we were helping this one woman, and she was going through a tough time and had family problems. And so she had custody of her grandchildren. And so she was taking care of them and working multiple jobs to be able to support that. And she's actually the one that popped into my mind because we were able to get her a $12,000 refund based on everything. And it just changed her life. Like the way that she thought about everything, she was like, I'm able to do all of these things now and take care of her grandchildren. And so it was just a really great moment to be a part of.
That's incredible. Can you think of?
I mean, every time I'm there, I get one. But even last week, so on Thursday, we went to prepare a tax return. This woman had a buggy with her. And at first, I assumed she had brought her child or grandchild. She was, she looked older than a typical taxpayer, but it's not unusual for people to have grandchildren with them. And then the buggy kind of lunged like it was going to bite us. And she had brought her 2 dogs with her. And this is unexpected. I guess. But she made the students hold the dog while they were doing the tax return. And just sitting there, from a technical perspective, this was about a 20-minute return. She was there about 3 hours. She needed someone to be with her, to talk with her about the challenges she was going beyond tax return. And that's why our students get really engaged and they keep coming back. They want to do it again. It's not just you get to practice a tax return, but you get to see people holistically. And so those are the moments. I got some great tax stories about some really cool tax thing where we're able to flip it. But it's seeing someone have their dignity restored and be viewed as a person. And that's what we try and do with every single person. They're not a statistic. They're not a number. They're a person.
So where does this take place? Where do these tax returns get
worked on? There are additional ones beyond the ones I'm going to say that Workforce does throughout the city too. But we work at University High School at 4:30 till 6:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Now, they use, I don't know if you remember the old deli number system where you come and grab a number, but you can go there early. People will be there as early as 3:30 to get their number. to make sure that they can get assisted at night. We try and get everyone done by 8 o'clock. And we'll serve about 60 people in a night. At La Vega High School, it's on Wednesday nights. And La Vega also does the Waco Library on Mondays during the day at the downtown branch. And starting just a few weeks ago, we opened a new location at Waco High School.
Okay, good.
There was a teacher there who was passionate about expanding the reach of the program, and so that's an exciting one.
Good.
It's having great impact.
Yeah, well, it's convenient to different parts of town for
And
folks.
a lot of people who are attending our sites are mobility challenged, and the Waco bus system is not great for those night hours.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. I would presume this program will just continue to grow.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think as long as we can keep getting people involved, and so we have retired faculty coming in to help mentor students, but there's a lot of community members that want to be involved, and so if you're interested, just reach out and we'd love to get you plugged into one of the programs. If you're a person who is not scared of accounting or taxes, and I promise you it's not that scary, we'd love to find a way, because there are thousands of people we're not serving in this community still.
Oh, well, and this is a short-term thing, as you say. You're gonna be done first part of April.
Yeah.
To get those returns in by the 15th.
And so,
or do you also file extensions for folks?
we can file extensions for folks. And that is an important thing. If you can't file your taxes, file the extension.
Yeah.
And so we are exploring what it would look like to do a mini one in the fall, because there are a lot of people who get overwhelmed and just decide to ostrich for a while. But we got to get the decision done, because if you're entitled to return, we can get that to you.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So just what this experience has meant to you personally.
I've loved doing VITA. I think that it's been such a great experience. I love interacting with everyone that comes in and meeting a bunch of different people from all over the community. It's such a great experience. I love meeting the high school students that help too, hanging out with the high school teachers. They're always so nice. And just peers at Baylor. It's so fun being able to work with them. Ones that I've met before, ones that I don't know. I just think the whole experience is just really great. The time goes by really fast. You don't even realize it.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, for me, it's kind of it's this bizarre experience, because most of the time when I'm serving with the students, I have an answer key to every question they answer. I'm the expert. We're in the field. We're all just trying to figure this out on our own. So it's a lot more camaraderie and sharing. At the end of every day, we eat dinner together at 8 o'clock at night. And so there's that. But just getting to interact with people in Waco and hearing their stories. And so sometimes we forget that, how amazing a community we're in and how many people want to make a difference. And so just getting to walk alongside Wacoans is amazing for me.
Well, and it's just such an amazing, important work that you're doing to help people. But as you say, there's many more that could be helped. So again, how can they get in touch if they want to sign up, perhaps ahead of time, or they just show up at those different locations? So
the easiest way, if you want to sign up, is to email me. So you can either just Google my name, Jason McGregor, McGregor at Baylor, and I'll get a hold of you. Or you just search VITA and VITA Waco, and you'll find all the connections and links. Or if you call contact Waco High, University High School, or La Vega, and say, I'm interested in volunteering, they can help get you connected. There's really so much demand. And like I said, there are other sites in the city, and we're working to get more up and going all the time.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are some that could volunteer their time to help.
And everyone there just truly, truly wants to help. So if anyone reaches out, they really want to help you, and that's what they're there for. So don't even hesitate to contact if you want to.
Great. Thank you so much, Samantha, Jason. All the best in the work you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
If your AC is working overtime and your house still feels hot, Maybe it's your old windows that are to blame. Worn seals, warped frames, and outdated glass can let hot air in and cool air out. Beat the Texas heat. Call Universal Windows Direct of Central Texas today for a cooler home and lower energy bill. 0% financing is available with your good credit.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, your bank for life.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
Our professionals are not only experts in managing urgent concerns, but also in providing top-notch preventative health care. We're proud to connect pet owners to a vast network of licensed veterinary professionals, ready to address any immediate concerns. Book your first appointment today.
I'm Jessica Lee with XO8 Cosmeceuticals. We do incredibly well with the XO8 Red Carpet Facial. Incredible for anti-aging, incredible for healing. So get those red carpet facials going and reach out to us with any questions.
I am obsessed with helping business owners increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. It's this amazing platform where people are looking for ideas, inspiration. They have a problem and they're actively looking for a solution.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
The reason that their service is outstanding because the people they have working, behind the desk and the folks working out in the garage, taking care of business. And they give you a date, they give you a time, and they're spot on. And they're professional, they take care of it, and they answer all your questions, and they're fun to work with.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
At Mitzi, we believe the right light can transform any space. Mitzi has the perfect design for you. Beautiful, well-made lighting without the high price tag. Discover your perfect light at Mitzi.com. That's MITZI.com. Mitzi.
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining us today. This is going to be a fun day because we're emerging from the winter season, and that means rattlesnakes are as well. And who better to talk about the Olgesby Rattlesnake Roundup than with Mr. Texas Snake Man himself, Jackie Bibby. Good to have you here on the show again, my friend.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Say, it's been 4 years since we've done this. I went back and saw the podcast that we did in 2022. And the Olgesby Rattlesnake Roundup still going on. And I loved listening to our visit back then. And I'm kind of curious about how things might have changed in the intervening years. You were saying that there are fewer and fewer of these rattlesnake roundups. Has that changed? Are we seeing more of them or not?
No, it's still dramatically in decline. When I started in 1969, there were 42 rattlesnake roundups in Texas. There are only about 7 left. So they've pretty much been pushed out of existence. A lot of the people that are much more environmental than myself, I'm trying to be somewhat politically correct and not get into a name calling event, but some of them take a great deal of issue with what we do and are under what I believe to be misguided information, saying that we're really dramatically impacting the population, which statistics doesn't prove that out. A few years ago, we had 2 really bad winters, and that decimated the population pretty bad. But in the last couple of years, they've come back. So it's just a natural ebb and flow as to how many of these animals are in the wild. There's so much territory that is habitat for the rattlesnakes here in Texas that's never hunted. So we've not in any way endangered the species of the western diamondback rattlesnake, even though there are thousands of pounds of them turned in every year, because people do eat the meat. We tan the hides and make products out of the hides. We do studies with the rattlesnakes. I've been involved with Dr. Gus Gross down in South Texas, who's the premier venom expert in Texas, doing studies about rattlesnakes. I'm friends with the venom gypsy, Ken Darnell. He holds several patents on medicine made from rattlesnake venom. So, there's a lot of good stuff going on that I'm involved in with my 50-something years of having done this, that I don't think that I'm a bad guy. For sometimes we do kill the animals, but we kill them to eat and make products out of their skin. I mean, we're not killing them for just to be killing them.
Well, right, and there are farmers and ranchers and people who have property that don't necessarily want a bunch of rattlesnakes.
That's true. That's how the Rattlesnake Roundup started in 1929. When they first started the Rattlesnake Roundups, it was to slow down the population that's out in the area where ranchers and oil field workers were encountering them, and there was a danger.
Well, let's talk about the Olgesby Lions Club. This is a huge event for them every year, I know, and you come, and so tell me about. In fact, this is like almost a week earlier than normal. Usually, well,
no, it's the same weekend.
Oh, it's the same weekend. It's just
every
falling.
year. It's the last full weekend in February.
Oh, okay, the
It
last
looks
full
a
weekend.
little bit different because there's a half a weekend.
Right.
If there's half a weekend, we go back to the full weekend. It is the last full weekend in February every year. This will be the 56th year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Right around there, 56 years, I think. And I've been involved with it almost the entire time.
And this is going to be
the Texas Snake Handlers is the club that I'm involved with and have been for years. And, you've had Dougie and Mike and some of us on your show before.
Oh, the TV show. Oh, absolutely. And this is going to be February 21st and 22nd. So that is the weekend that we're talking about. And there'll be lots of events there during that time. Can you tell them about some of the demonstrations you'll be doing?
A very family-friendly thing because, Ogles is a very small town in the neighborhood of 400 people. But that weekend, we'll have thousands of people attending. I mean, it's a huge, big influx of population into the town. We got the carnival going on there. We have music acts performing all day. Have all kinds of vendors. I mean, there's vendors selling everything from rattlesnake products to my friend down there that has a monkey, the Monkey Man. I'll let you take pictures with his monkey, and they have all different kinds of handcrafts and various things that people have made. There's lots of stuff to eat, not only carnival food, but inside the deal there where we have the snake show, they have Frito pie and they have regular pie. I usually have several samples of that. But there's lots of good stuff to eat and a lot of things to see. And now, of course, there's our rattlesnake shows that we do. On Saturday, we'll have 4 shows, and on Sunday, we'll have 3 shows. So every few hours, we'll have a structured show, and we also will have someone in the pit throughout the entire weekend where people come by And it's between shows, we can always answer questions, let them take pictures, show them the snakes, and do things like that.
Now, through this event, is this where people will go out and gather rattlesnakes and bring them in?
It is. It's a roundup, a rattlesnake roundup.
So about how many wranglers do you have that will be bringing in rattlesnakes?
Our guys are not out hunting during this particular weekend because the Heart of Texas is the club that puts on the show. We're kind of like the producers of a rodeo. You know, the rodeo producers has to provide the stock and all that stuff.
Okay.
We have to provide the snakes and a snake buyer and all that kind of stuff. We have to work. This is a year-to-year event, and we stay involved and busy with the Lions Club throughout the year in preparation and doing everything necessary to be able to pull this event off every year.
And
so
of course,
our guys will just be doing the shows.
Okay.
They'll be there at the show all weekend. The hunters are the locals from there around Olgesby and that area, and they'll go out and catch the snakes usually for several weeks prior to the roundup, and then they'll bring them in and turn them in for money and for prizes, because they win prizes for the most snakes brought in and for the longest rattlesnake, snake with the most rattlers, things like that. There'll be prizes awarded for that, and also a little extra money.
What's the biggest?
They're bringing really good money this year.
Oh, really?
They're going to be bringing, I think, $15 a pound on Saturday. So that's a lot for
that. Yeah, that's gone up. That's gone up for sure.
Last year they brought $20 at Sweetwater, which is the world's largest rattlesnake roundup.
Oh yeah, Sweetwater. Sure.
Last year they brought $20. That's the most I've ever seen them bring since I've been involved.
That's amazing.
Ironically, the first year I was involved, they were bringing 20 cents a pound.
Oh my goodness, that's a wide range. What's the biggest rattlesnake you've ever seen?
I've seen a few Western diamondbacks which are a little over 6 feet, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", right along in there.
Mm-hmm.
The Eastern diamondback, which I've worked with them as well, over in Georgia and Alabama, but they get bigger than the Western diamondback. The Western's indigenous to Texas. They get around 6 feet, which is a big, big snake. It'll weigh 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah.
But mostly a 5-foot snake's still an awful big snake too. So they get bigger in South Texas than they do here in Central Texas.
Interesting.
Because it's warmer and they can feed longer throughout the year.
Okay.
A rattlesnake going to grow as long as he's still eating.
Well,
some of them do brumate during the winter, and some of them don't, depending on how warm it is.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that they don't hibernate. It's called brumate, but it is in essence where they get into the den and they just kind of chill. How long a period of time?
Still, they have an extremely slow metabolism.
Yeah.
They're an ambush hunter, so they'll curl up somewhere near where they're going to see a little animal walk by, and they'll sit there sometime for days, just waiting for a mouse or a rat. Now, rattlesnake doesn't eat very frequently in the wild, maybe once or twice a month.
Really?
Yes.
That is not much. So for people that don't know you, and I can't imagine anybody not knowing you, but tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in this whole becoming the snake man.
Well, Ann, you're going to give me an opportunity to push my book. I have a book out now.
I love talking to authors.
Snake Man, very kind and gentle man. And they can find that on Amazon. And it tells the whole story. It's my life story. I started in 1969 at Brownwood, Texas. And the reason I got involved is because I entered a sacking contest, sacking rattlesnakes in competition. That's a timed event where they give you 10 rattlesnakes in a tow sack. You got 2 minutes to dump them out and arrange them. Then they shoot a gun off and start timing you. And you got to pin each one, immobilize their head, pick them up, put them in the sack. If you get bit or if you don't pin them properly, you get a 5-second penalty. The fastest team wins. The first time I ever competed, I won 2 trophies, $30, and got my name in the paper. So now I hold the world record for that event, and I have over 100 trophies. So
wow. Well, but what made you decide you wanted to enter that contest to begin with? What was the very genesis of you wanting to do this?
I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Apparently. Yeah, because you've done a lot of other things like wear one on your head and get in a bathtub with rattlesnakes all around you and get in a sleeping bag. And so yeah, these are pretty daredevil exploits for sure.
Yes, ma'am. I do perceive myself as being a daredevil of sorts. And, I have been in the Guinness Book of World Records, 9 different editions for some of the stunts you're just describing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've done a lot of that kind of stuff. And it's been fun. I've been bit 12 times in my 50-something years of rattlesnake handling. My worst bite, I lost my leg. And most people would have quit doing it. I just bought a leg and kept on doing it because I'm a slow learner. But this prosthetic leg serves me pretty well, and I have a 50% better chance of not getting bit. So they can't bite me on that side.
Although I do remember you telling me a story of having a rattlesnake in your boot and you didn't realize it because you had the prosthetic, and you get to the hotel and then you find out, oh, I got a rattlesnake in the hotel room.
Yeah, Dougie and I had gone back to the hotel and we're getting comfortable taking our clothes off and getting our house breeches on and everything. And I took that boot off and there was a rattlesnake in it. So I threw it across the room. Then me and Dougie were dancing around trying to figure out how to catch a rattlesnake. We didn't have anything to put it in.
Well, a lot of people are afraid of snakes. And so what is the one thing you can tell someone if they should come upon a snake in the wild, they hear that telltale rattle? What is the first thing they should do?
Before you see it,
Yeah.
because rattlesnakes are extremely hard to see in their natural environment. They blend in so effectively with their surroundings, they're real hard to see. So you generally hear that very distinctive rattle, and it's pretty distinct. You can hear it. Best thing to do is be still. I know that's hard. Most people are going to feel inclined to run. But if you stand real still and look around, you can find a clear avenue of escape. Because if you see where the snake's at and you back away from it or walk sideways, any direction away from it, and you want to be real sure where you're going, because you might walk into another one if they're laying out certain times of year. There's usually several of them if you're close to the den. And you just walk very cautiously and slowly away. That's a demonstration we do at the shows, showing people with very exaggerated. We place a lot of them around the handler's feet, and he walks out without getting struck.
And they can launch how far to if
about
they were
half their body length.
Half their body length, so that can give you a gauge of how quickly you need to get away. I think that's what's so great, though, about the Olgesby Lions Club and this wonderful rattlesnake roundup is the educational aspect of it, that you want to try to help people understand more about these critters and how to be safe around them.
We do try to be educational, but we also try to do the thrill-seeking stuff that people like. So we feel like it's a pretty good mixture.
So, but it also does help promote wildlife and protecting them. I mean, it's even though you're gathering them up, there is a value to that as well.
I would like to think so. I mean, I'm not a scientist. There's a lot of herpetological people that study and do a lot more scientifically than myself. I'm a performance artist. I mean, that's what I do it for entertainment. I have learned a lot down through the years, and I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable about rattlesnakes and about snakes in general. But I never professed to be a scientist, so I don't know a lot of the technical scientific questions that people ask, but I give the best answer I can, and I certainly never try to mislead anyone about anything. But I feel like that there's an environmental element to what we're doing.
Well, no question about it. One thing we touched on the last time we had a chance to visit is your work with addiction recovery. And so I wanted to spend a little bit of time perhaps talking with you about that.
Yes, ma'am. I'm currently working for a nonprofit group called the Royds Foundation. And we help addicts. I myself am a recovering addict. I have 37 years clean by God's amazing grace and help from a lot of people. But we provide help for other addicts that are early on getting clean. We provide transportation and information to members of the family and also to the addicted individuals. People coming out of halfway houses, treatment centers, prisons, jails. A lot of times they've used up a lot of their resources. They oftentimes don't have a car, and they may need a ride to probation or to parole or to a 12-step meeting or to get their medicine to go see the doctor. We provide them with transportation and information. Where's the meeting that I can go to for 12-step for NA and AA and OA and all that stuff? We have all that information available to people should they need it. And like I said, that's called the Royce Foundation, and I'm the director of that group.
That is awesome, and my hats off to you for your many years of sobriety. That's wonderful. What got you to the point where you knew you had to change your ways? He laughs.
Another story in my book that people can read about.
Okay, again.
My father was so disgusted with me. He was my chief enabler, and we owned a business in my hometown. And we were doing pretty well financially till I just about broke us through my addiction. But he was so disgusted with my behavior because there's an element of addiction that is temporary insanity. I mean, I was doing crazy things and I was doing the best I could. It didn't make any sense what I was doing, but I was doing the best I could because I was a helpless and hopeless drug addict. And my father threw two $100 bills at me, two $100 bills at me, and said, "I never want to see you again." And we got in a big fight. And my father was also a police officer as well as running the business we had. And so he arrested me and took me to jail. When we got over to the jail, he and I ran a jail ministry over there, and we brought Bibles into people that were going to prison. So the jailer thought we were there for our ministry, and my dad was there to lock me up, and the jailer thought it was a joke and he wouldn't lock me up.
Oh my goodness.
It was a big mess. They did finally lock me up.
I finally said,
And
yeah,
I
he's
was,
serious. He wants his
incarcerated
kid in jail.
for 8 days before they sent me to a treatment center. And I went
Yeah.
to a treatment center, and I was absolutely amazed. There were people there who knew more about me than I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
in my journey of recovery.
and part of what you do is to stay in contact, I understand, with other recovery and treatment centers, because there are quite a few in the state available, right, to help people.
Yes, ma'am. There are a lot of treatment centers in the state of Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are those that are there that are subsidized for people who don't have money or insurance. And then certainly there are those that, operate as profit facilities that take insurance, and, whatever your needs are, there's some answers out there. They're not easy answers, but they're answers.
Yeah.
And it's worthwhile.
It's definitely worth it for sure. And again, I'm so proud of the work you do in that area. Tell me again the name of your book.
Jackie Bibby, the Texas Snake Man, a very kind and gentle man.
A very kind
The
and
Texas
gentle
Snake
man.
Man, yeah.
And again,
It's on a bunch of platforms. The easiest one to find is Amazon.
okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's great. I love talking to authors and love hearing your story. You have had
It was fun to write the book. It
Was
was it was a challenging thing to do, but I really enjoyed it, and it's been interesting to do it. I've worked with some companies doing publicity for it, and we changed the cover. It's been out about a year, and we recently changed the cover on it to make it a little bit more marketable, I guess. They did some AI work and made a real pretty cover that's more impressive. So I'm still working on the book, but it's out there. It's available to people, and it was challenging to write, but fun.
Well, you have a remarkable story, and I'm so glad you have got it in book form now, for sure. That's great news for me. The
I'm
Olgesby.
also currently recording it in my voice.
Oh, are you?
So,
Okay, good.
within the next few weeks, it will be available for people on Spotify and some of those platforms where they can just listen to it. Listen to me read my book.
An audio book. That's awesome. That's perfect. Well, the Olgesby Rattlesnake Roundup, again, that's coming up February 21st through the 22nd. It is $5 admission, and kids under 6 free. my understanding. There'll be train rides, a car show, games, live entertainment, all kinds of fun things to do for the
Great
family.
family entertainment. It's a great thing to do on the weekend. Everybody can come out, and there's something for everybody to do. And we just love to have you. So anybody who's interested, come on out and we'll pet a rattlesnake.
Actually do that, right. But
I let them touch them, of course. When
Right.
we do that, we always have the head positioned in such a way they cannot be bitten. So it's completely safe for them just to touch it, just to say, well, okay, I touched the rattlesnake.
I touched
know
a
what it feels
rattlesnake.
like.
Well, I loved it when you would come to Channel 25 and you'd bring the snakes. I was telling a friend of mine, I said, there was a young lady that worked at the station, though. When she knew you were coming, she took the day off. She was so afraid of snakes that she wasn't even going to be at the
A
station.
lot of people are. And
Yeah,
I
mean,
understand that, it's a phobia.
a big time phobia. Oh yeah, she absolutely wouldn't be there. But oh yeah, you had the white snake. What was his name? Diablo.
Probably a big Burmese python.
No, I thought it was a white rattlesnake.
And
Anyway,
I did have a white rattlesnake. He died, and I made a walking cane out of him.
did you really? Yeah, because you did have him one time.
His name was Diablo Blanco.
Diablo Blanco. That was it.
White
That
devil.
was it. Well, but he's been forever memorialized, right, in the form of a cane. So.
Yes. Yeah, he was a really cool show snake. I had him for about 5 years.
Oh, he was a showstopper, as you say. It's just great to talk to you again, though. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well there in Rising Star still, right? You're home.
Yes, absolutely. I've lived here most of my life. I mean, it's a great little town.
Well, we are excited to have you come to Olgesby, another great little town in Texas. And Rattlesnake Roundup. Not many of them happen around the country anymore, so it's really a part of Texas history in a way.
Yeah, it's been going on a long time, so we hope to have a lot of people come out. It's a very successful show. It has been for years. I mean, just a lot of people come out. Some of the people I've seen there for about as long as I've been there, and they're still right there in the front row. They've seen this show 100 times. We try to change it up a little bit, but they're right there front and center, ready to watch it again.
Well, Jackie Bibby, you are the best. Thank you so much for your time
Thank
today.
you, ma'am. Always a pleasure. You holler at me anytime.
I sure will. All right, stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
If your AC is working overtime and your house still feels hot, maybe it's your old windows that are to blame. Worn seals, warped frames, and outdated glass can let hot air in and cool air out. Beat the Texas heat. Call Universal Windows Direct of Central Texas today for a cooler home and lower energy bills. 0% financing is available with your good credit.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Serving Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. At TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, Your Bank for Life.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same day or next day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
The reason that their service is outstanding because the people they have working, behind the desk and the folks working out in the garage, taking care of business. And they give you a date, they give you a time, and they're spot on. And they're professional, they take care of it, and they answer all your questions, and they're fun to work with.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.